Who invited your moms?
Please. I ain't ugly enough to be his mom. What you do, sis? You left me high and dry. Maybe if you stopped raising your hand in your mouth, you wouldn't look like Shamu or the South Side.
Well, I am who I am.
Maybe you were 5 procedures ago.
Did we get him?
Not even close.
What's the first thing that pops into your mind when you think of Queen Latifah?
Hell are you?
Neighborhood watch.
Maybe you should mind your own business.
I've tried.
Is it the fierce rap icon who told the boys to sit down with her anthem UNITY?
Instinct leads me to another flow. Every time I hear a brother call a girl a bitch or a hoe.
The award-winning actress who can flip from drama to comedy like it's nothing.
Then why am I trying to move here to be with you?
I'm kind of thirsty. Y'all want some soda?
Or maybe the glamorous Hollywood trailblazer who's bagged endorsement deals, historic awards, and a seat next to the Bidens at the Kennedy Center Honors. But here's where it gets juicy. How did the reigning queen of hip-hop handle that bombshell sexual assault scandal involving her Equalizer co-star, Chris Noth? What about the other tea in her personal life that sis has managed to shield away from the public eye? Well, grab your popcorn, guys, because today we're spilling everything in the life of Queen Latifah that you probably don't know. With accolades like a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly welcome to the Walk of Fame, Queen Latifah.
To being the first ever female rapper inducted into the Library of Congress.
First of all, I wish I wasn't the first because hip hop is so important. There were so many people who inspired me before this album came out, and so many forms of music that I was inspired by. And you know, for anybody from Salt and Pepper to Boogie Down Productions to MC Lyte, you know, there's a whole bunch of rappers who even Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, they gave you like so much flavor that it gave me, you know, in a way the bravado to take the chance to talk about different things and infuse, you know, singing into my raps instead of just beats and rhymes, you know. So I mean, you know, and fortunately I'm part of the Flavor Unit and the Native Tongue crew, so we try all different kinds of things, and I feel honored because it, you know, hip hop is a form of music that we created, not unlike jazz, not unlike rock and roll, not unlike the blues, and so it's important that we're recorded in history.
Queen Latifah's reign is nothing short of legendary. But before we spill all the tea about her jaw-dropping achievements and the spicy drama that followed her crown, let's quickly rewind where it all began. Dana Elaine Owens, aka the one and only Queen Latifah. Latifah means delicate or kind in Arabic. She adopted it as a nickname when she was 8 years old, was born on March 18th, 1970 in Newark, New Jersey.
Growing up was good for me. I mean, especially the initial years of my life. You know, I had the model nuclear family, mother, father, brother, sister, dog. And, you know, life was good for us. And it wasn't a rich living. And it wasn't poor living. It was just like everything was okay. I had a lot of fun. I was a tomboy, so I was always outside playing. Always. That was life for me, really.
But being the product of a humble but hardworking family, life was never a walk in the park. Receiving good training from both parents from a young age,
I'm definitely a product of my parents. My father comes from a family of 9 siblings, but his big sister was his best friend. So she would stick up for him. He was used to being around strong women, and I think he wanted to raise me as a strong young woman as well. So anything my brother could do, I could do. Camping, if it was any sport, if it was karate, if it was, you know, whatever it was, if it was shooting, because my father was a tactical officer and a Vietnam veteran. I wasn't separated boy, girl kind of thing. And that was part of the beginning of making me aware of my capabilities. My mother is the queen of me. Anything queenly about me is really from my mother. My mother was very much a lady. First of all, a strong, powerful woman, but very feminine, eloquent, elegant. So she smoothed out all my rough edges.
Latifah was both brains and street smart. She juggled schoolwork with a budding love for music.
In high school, my sophomore year of high school, you know, hanging out in the bathrooms, and I transferred to that school. So I was like, let me just see what's up. And, you know, I would wind up hanging out in the bathrooms and girls would just start rhyming in the bathrooms. And really dudes would be coming in the bathroom too, because it was the place to be. So I would just start hitting the beats on the bathroom stalls. This girl, Tangy B, Landy D, they would just start freestyling and they were killing it. So I just keep the beat going while they would just start rocking. You know, eventually I started beatboxing, you know, with them in the bathrooms. And then it came to a point where they had to battle these girls from another school. And there were 3 of those girls who were on the mic and only 2 of us, you know? And so I had to write my first rhyme. So my brother had turntables. I literally went in his room, threw on the instrumental of I Need a Beat by LL Cool J, and I started writing. I was like, okay, what are we gonna write? You know, so I wrote this battle rap and we wound up battling these girls and we killed them.
Quickly becoming the type of kid who could hold her own in just any room.
I was raised with respect and politeness, you know, respecting my elders just from being a little kid, you know, and how to behave at certain places. And, you know, I wasn't just going to be allowed to run around the supermarket any kind of way or the restaurant. You know, that just wasn't happening. So when you kind of get that at a young age, you realize there's certain things that you can do what you want to do and certain times that you got to, and then there's certain people that you got to shape up, you know, and say thank you, say, you know, and have manners with. And it's really being mannerable sometimes. But learning those lessons allowed me to feel comfortable going in different types of rooms with different types of people. Yeah. And still being comfortable in my own skin.
But you know what they say, every star's glow comes from surviving their shadows. And peeps, did Latifah have her share of shadows? For starters, by the time she was just 10, her parents' marriage had completely flatlined. And let's be real, divorce is no smooth sailing for any kid. But for Latifah, it was just the first of many challenges to come.
When I separated from my husband, she became very aggressive and very defiant.
At age 5, Latifah got SA'd by the teenage babysitter she was left with. And even worse, she never got the courage to tell her parents about it. Yet, despite everything, she didn't let the cracks in her foundation define her. Instead, it seemed to light a fire under her. At just 19, Latifah was already flipping the rap game on its head with her debut album, All Hail the Queen.
My career jumped off really quickly and got successful pretty quickly, you know, for my first record to come out and sell almost 500,000 records with not a whole lot of promotion, just whatever we were doing back then and maybe a video on my second single type thing, you know.
And let's be real, in a world where the rap scene was all about the guys, this was by no means a small feat. But it wasn't just about being a woman in hip-hop. It was all about the messages her music carries, too. With hit singles like Unity, songs like Just Another Day, Latifah's Had It Up to Here, and Black Hand Side, showcased her lyrical genius and her ability to mix raw storytelling with empowerment. She also hit us with Come Into My House, which brought a house music vibe to her catalog, and Nature of a Sister, proving she could do it all. The world didn't just fall for Latifah's sharp flow and her larger-than-life personality. They were in love with the awareness the song raised about violence against Black women.
It doesn't matter what your race is, what your, where you come from, what language you speak. This is a problem for all of us, and it is not a new problem. 21 years ago, I wrote the song UNITY about disrespect and violence towards women. That entire second verse of that song was written about my cousin who was in an abusive relationship with her husband, and my brother and my cousins pretty much had to rescue her from that relationship, but she did get out of that relationship.
But the rap scene wasn't the only place Latifah was killing it. In 1993, Latifah was already scaling it in the acting game, too. Sis featured in Living Single, and when I say she smashed it.
Did you ever stop to think about what the world would be like without men?
A bunch of fat, happy women and no crime.
You know, it became the #1 show among blacks and black people and Latinos, and I'm in your house every week. It changed that star power. You know, it wasn't just Latifah from hip hop. I was now Khadijah, and people were coming up to me like, I named my daughter after you. Her name is Khadijah. And I'm like, my name is not Khadijah, but okay.
And that's not all. Over the years, she is featured in movies like The Cookout.
No soliciting. Wait, what you got there? You got Slim Mints? Go and get the hell out of here.
Beauty Shop.
And what's up with the Kmart thing, huh? Is it because I'm black? Is it because I'm black? Because I'm black?
Hey, let me tell you something, baby.
In Chicago.
So if there's something that upsets you or makes you unhappy in any way, don't shoot your fat ass mouth off to me, because I don't give a shit. Now move it out.
And hey, who could forget her and Jimmy killing it in Taxi?
I've been working on this car for 5 years. Who is gonna pay for that?
See this? This is a badge, okay? That means you're not allowed to scream at me! Ah!
20 years ago, we were in a film together called Taxi. And
we've never been the same.
Do you get stopped in the street? People tell me that's their favorite movie.
That is, listen, I don't know how many languages Taxi is dubbed in, but everywhere I have gone in the world, somebody has seen Taxi. And I was like, yo, this, you know, I'm in Italy, but the Taxi.
In addition to a rap and hip hop career, Latifah is a talented jazz singer. Her albums, the Dana Owens album, Traveling Light, showcase her versatility as a vocalist. Go and tell your friends about the two of us. But while she was actually owning her career, Latifah's life was far from smooth sailing. Right when Latifah was blowing up with the fame from her third album, Black Rain,
seems it's been so long since you filled me with your charms,
and her role in the series Living Single,
okay, it doesn't hurt that I carry a little tape recorder in my cleat.
the universe threw her a major curveball. One night, Latifah and her then boyfriend and bodyguard Sean were in her BMW when they were ambushed by 2 armed men. The men were out for one thing: hijacking her car. Even though Latifah complied, trying to keep everything cool, things still took a dark turn when Sean got shot. I mean, can you imagine the fear? But Latifah wasn't about to let Sean lose his life. She kept it together and rushed him to the hospital. But here's where the real gut punch comes in. While that was terrifying, it didn't even compare to the heartbreak Latifah faced in 1992, when she lost her brother Lancelot in a tragic motorcycle accident.
Having lost my brother when I was 22 years old, one of the closest people in my entire life, when that happens to you and you can't even make a fist because you've lost the strength in your hands.
And here's the kicker. The bike he was riding, Latifah had just gifted it to him for his birthday. Can you even fathom the weight of that loss? To cope, Latifah held on to the key to the bike, dipped it in gold, and wore it as a necklace for years. Talk about a permanent tribute. But the loss doesn't end there. Okay, so as we all know, Latifah has always spoken about her mom as her greatest source of motivation.
And I was just raised to never have to depend on a man. That was something my mom just drilled into my head. And so I knew I had to take care of my business at all times. And so my mother is my greatest inspiration, my best friend, the person who made me who I am today. She raised my brother and I as a single mom in a tough neighborhood in Newark, New Jersey. From the beginning, she was determined to give us a better life. She put herself through college, became an art teacher. In between classes, she worked 3 jobs, but still found the time to take us to museums, plays, and musicals, so that we can learn about other cultures and ideas, and most importantly, ourselves. To this day, whenever I decide I'm going to try something new, my mom is the one in my corner encouraging me to take the leap.
So you can imagine that after battling a rare autoimmune disease for 14 years, and her mom passing away in 2018, it seemed like the light dimmed in Latifah's world. But if there's one thing you can count on, it's that this queen is a fighter. She's carried on, knowing her mom's spirit is always with her.
She still talks to me. She talks to me through the kitchen light. I talk to my mother as if she was still here. And she goes with me wherever I go.
Now, if there's one thing we all know about Queen Latifah, it's that she doesn't just sit pretty. She stands tall for what's right. And when it comes to body shaming, especially in Black homes where making weight jokes is practically a tradition,
you know, we fat jokes, we use that. That was normal. That was the norm. Like, get your fat ass off the court, or or look at your fat ass.
Yeah, your mama's so fat.
I don't know if it applies on a basketball court. I think on a basketball court we have to just like let anything goes on the court. But or they've heard something that's hurt their feelings and they just been walking around with it for like 20 years. The person has no clue. And they continue to probably say those same things. It's not funny.
Latifah wasn't about to let that slide. So what does a queen do when she wants people to feel comfortable in their own skin and still stay healthy? She starts a whole movement, of course.
She's a part of It's Bigger Than Me, and this is a movement that she became the spokesperson of, that's really putting the spotlight on something we all deal with in our families and our communities, is obesity.
You see, Latifah wasn't just all about preaching body positivity.
There are people very close to me who will remain nameless, but who are around me quite often are like, oh, yeah, you know, I was going to do this. I was going to play on this team and I wanted to do this. And then people started calling me fat and so I didn't do it. This can stop your life, stop you from doing what you want to do in your life. And so if it's something like that, we can't have that. Or you say cute little things like, oh, girl, you getting a little chunky there. What's up? What's going on? Or you kind of husky there now. What's happening? But those things can plant seeds in your mind.
Yeah. You know,
and start you thinking about your body in a certain way, or have you doing crazy yo-yo diets, or have you taking pills to lose weight that don't work for you, you know, or you dropped 100 pounds, then you gained 100 pounds. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not one like simple little thing that we want to start talking about, but we do want to start the dialogue.
She was also creating a safe space for everyone to talk openly about their bodies and how they really feel.
Because that's what's important. It's really just creating a dialogue so we can, you know, kind of move towards health and move towards just having a better way that we speak about this thing, and hopefully not have those kind of snide comments.
But here's the kicker. She's especially passionate about obesity and the importance of staying healthy without feeling judged or shamed for your size.
You know, so I think when people think about obesity, they think, you know, my 600-pound life, or
right,
you have to weigh 400, 500, 600 pounds. That is not the case. And obesity has to be tackled because, you know, a lot of people are living with this. And what it is a very complex issue. You know what I mean? And so this is me teaming up with Norvo to just create a conversation about it, to take away the stigma, to take away the shame surrounding it, to unpack the whole thing, you know, and really just allow people to voice their opinions about it.
Talk about making royal moves. But hold up, because it doesn't stop there. When it comes to loving her own body, Latifah leads by example. And I mean, she's made it clear. She will not shrink herself, literally or figuratively, to fit anyone's narrow standards.
I'm fortunate to have, as you know, people around me who've been around me since I was pretty much in high school. You know, I feel for some people who don't have that support system. People saying, you don't have to do that for that. Nah, forget that. Like, look, one door closes, another one opens. That's what my mother would always say, and that's what me and Shah say whenever something happens. You know, we just go to that one. And so, yeah, people would say those things, but clearly that's not for me. And there's a limit. I mean, as an actor, yes, you're going to, if this is what the role is, you may want to change your body for it. You may want to gain weight for it. You may want to lose weight. You may want to get muscular. I mean, we think about what Angela Bassett did with Tina Turner, that role. I mean, she went hard for that role. De Niro gained like 40 pounds or so to play Al Capone, you know. I think in The Untouchables or whatever movie that was. So as an actor, you are allowed to do those kinds of things. But when it's something that has to happen quick and it's really unhealthy and it's just, if this is something you're doing in your regular life, that's not healthy.
Over the years, there were rumors that she was pressured to lose weight, including when she starred in the hit TV series Living Single.
Remember how we used to give fake names to the guys who would try to talk to us?
I was Alexis.
But you know our girl. She's never been one to bend to society's expectations. Despite all the pressure, she's stayed firm in her body-positive stance, making sure that no one could ever make her feel like she wasn't perfect just the way she is. But if you thought that was all the storm Queen Latifah had to weather in Hollywood, then you're in for a ride. Let's rewind to 2021 when the Equalizer set turned into the epicenter of a major scandal. Her co-star Chris Noth found himself in hot water after multiple women came forward with sexual assault allegations against him. And you know how fast Hollywood is when it comes to saving face. CBS didn't even blink. Noth was fired before the ink was even dry on the headlines. But child, all eyes were on Latifah. Because let's be real, what the Queen had to say about it was the real headline everyone wanted. Always the diplomatic diva, Latifah described the situation as delicate and dicey, saying it required a great deal of respect. Oh, and she made it clear she hoped justice would prevail. Just as expected, classy, right? Still, let's not kid ourselves. While CBS was busy distancing themselves from Noth, Latifah was probably way more focused on the real problem. How on earth were the producers going to rework the script to write Noth's character out? Because you know what they say, at the end of the day, the show must go on.
You don't want these guys as your enemy.
They don't want me as theirs.
So, a young black woman trying to carve her space in the rap game during the late 80s?
I use my pen as a weapon. Ain't no second guessing how I became a legend.
You already know, the road wasn't paved with roses or even decent sidewalks. And while Queen Latifah has always carried herself like the true queen she is, Latifah has never been afraid to spill the tea on the sexism she faced on her way up.
A dominated field, you're always going to deal with sexism, chauvinism, some type of way.
And I mean, let's be real. If anyone could shatter those barriers and make the boys take a seat, it's Queen Latifah. Yet, trust me, not only did Latifah shine in the rap scene, but today she has planted herself as one of the greatest legends in the industry. And she's got the receipts, too. Let's start with sis getting shoulder to shoulder with the president and his wife when she got honored with the Kennedy Center honor.
She is queen, but she is mother with an A. I know y'all like, what? With an A? Yes, mother with an A. Okay. We thank you so much.
And let's not even talk about all the awards.
I got nominated for an Oscar for Mama Morton. And the weekend of the Oscars, I remember Bringing Down the House was the #1 movie in theater. And I remember Denzel walking past me as I'm sitting in the front row at the Oscars. And he's like, "You got the #1 movie in the country, huh?" And just kept walking. And it was just like one of those things where #1 is Denzel walking past you. But all these things are happening at once. All the stars are aligning. And it definitely takes you to another level.
From her Grammy Award to a Primetime Emmy Award for her role as Bessie Smith in the movie Bessie.
What's your name, pretty lady?
Bessie Smith.
Under the viaduct.
Where's the good music, the good food, and the good liquor?
A 2008 Golden Globe Award for Best Performance by an Actress in a Limited Series, and even a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly welcome to the Walk of Fame, Queen Latifah.
So what is Queen Latifah up to in 2024? Well, Mama's still killing it on screen, especially in her series Equalizer.
I don't know who you think you are, but this is my world. And in my world...
It's been great because I'm close to everybody. I'm close to my family. It's just surreal almost. You know, we're shooting on the streets that I grew up on, places that are so close to my heart that is visceral when we shoot there. And it's great to be able to employ people from here, you know, to get this show up and running so that, you know, some of our local folks can work.
And, what's this buzz about a Taxi sequel?
Truth to the rumors that you guys are working on a sequel to Taxi. Do we have anything to tell anyone today?
I mean, I'm ready when you are.
Now, as for what she will be remembered for, it's really going out of her way to make a difference. Let's be real, Latifah has a jaw-dropping career in music, acting, and even her talk show.
At what point in your career did you know that I have to do something to make sure I have longevity in my career and that I'm not stifled or pigeonholed where I'm only one-dimensional when there's so many things I have to offer?
That was from the very beginning.
But to be honest, amongst all that, her work behind the scenes is what really sticks. Whether she's hosting her own talk show, standing up for LGBTQ+ rights, or supporting causes like education and HIV/AIDS awareness, Queen Latifah keeps it real and gives back to the community. And let's not forget, from rap royalty to Hollywood queen, Latifah's legacy is untouchable. Okay, let's talk cash. With an estimated net worth of $70 million, Queen Latifah has built an empire almost as untouchable as her legacy. So whether it's for her fearlessness, confronting scandals, breaking barriers in hip-hop, or redefining beauty standards, Latifah has always done things her way. And to be honest, isn't that what we love about her?